Receive instant notification each time I upload. Please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Helping you along the way. Helping you to make it through another day. Yeah. Everything you need to know that you never knew, that you need to know. Like our perspective.
Well, hello and welcome everyone to the Lockhart Perspective and Headlines with a Voice. Tonight we're looking specifically at how 2024 came in with a bang. Now, because we know that 2024 came in with a bang, I got to be honest and let you know that means that there is more to come. And you can all let me know down below in the comments if you agree with that. Just based on your listen, the thing is that people that are content creators, we're not the only ones who know information or feel it. You guys feel it, you know it. Every single one of you know it. Hey, Wanda, hello, Vine Dressers Branch, and welcome to you as well. Grace and peace to you. Mary Brim, welcome to you as well. So, we all know that there are a lot of things that are going on right now that we all see in our own way. And so tonight we're going to look at a few things. We're looking at Vivek Ramaswamy, which is something that's it's been sitting on the side of my brain. It's been sitting there. I've got a few things that I've been looking at as far as he is concerned. I've also been looking at a few things as far as Nikki Haley is concerned. And I want to tell you, I just don't see them being who we think they are. Now, for those of you who have followed me on the Lockhart Perspective, and I hope that you all go over there and join me on the Lockhart Perspective, because I've been saying for a while over there that I don't see this as what everybody think it is. You know what I mean? I look at Florida and I see Florida and I'm thinking there's just something about this guy. There's just something about Nikki Haley as well, and I can't put my finger on it. I'm not going to pretend like I know something that nobody else does. I'm not going to do that. But I will tell you that there is a circle of information that's going on with several of these individuals that look as if they are really trying to be the people to knock Trump out of the running. Now, let me tell you this. For those of you who have followed me for a while and those of you who know me, you know that I'm not a Trump gal anymore. I jumped off the Trump train many years ago. I think the first thing for me was when I saw the situation with Syria, when he went over there and said kapow to them. Hey, Deirdre. And let's see, who else do we have here? We have Shakori, Dogmatic Coffee Lover. I love your names. So for me, I was not necessarily one of those people who were still on that Trump train. I got blackballed. Most of you who know me know that, especially if you follow me on the Lockhart Perspective, you know that. I got shadow banned. There was a lot of things that happened with me specifically because I was for Mr. Naranga. Because I was for Orange Man. Hey, there is the mighty Marty Lauderdale, who's one of our exceptional, actually, she's one of the chief mods that we have here. She's got a little more power than a few others do. She's got a little bit more clicking power than a lot of other mods do, but we do have a lot of great mods in here tonight, of which she is one. Daryl Calhoun is another. So what I want to say is there's a lot of things that's been going on that we really need to visit. And I want to visit them because I think that a lot of people who are about to vote think, honestly, that there's a few people who they need to keep their eyes on and the people that they want to keep their eyes on. And that's a problem, because if you don't really realize who they are, then it becomes an issue. And I'm here tonight to sort of steer everybody in the right direction. Okay? Just in the right direction. Hey, Wanda, how are you tonight? You said, remember the main problem, and that Stephen King said, he doesn't have nightmares. He gives them to us. Well, I tell you, Wanda, there's a lot of other people that give us nightmares, and it's not necessarily that cat, although I do believe that he, as well as other writers, have been used to sort of promulgate some of the things that are going on right now that we see today, even if the movie was as far back as Christine. So, with that in mind, I do want to talk about a few things. The first thing that I want to look about tonight is Nikki Haley. Now, have you all noticed how she's on she sort of massages all media? She massages all media. So, what I mean by that is she massages not only Fox News, but she massages and needs, if you understand what the word needs is. And for those of us who are bakers, she needs CNN. She stays on CNN. And I just found out just recently that she is supported by major bankers. For those of you who knew that, please put a one in the chat. Major bankers have now gotten behind Nikki Haley. I'm going to pull that up for you because that wasn't even a part of what we were going to talk about tonight. No, it isn't. But there are a lot of bankers, major Wall Street titans. And I'll go ahead and start with that story. Let's go on ahead and we'll start there because I want to go on ahead and set down some foundation for what we're talking about tonight. And I'll give you guys the full screen. Now, keep in mind that when I'm sharing stories, you and I are reading them together for the first time. A lot of times, unless something was absolutely unbelievable to me that I was reading myself and I got all the way into the bottom of it. And then I said, I got to take this to the people. In this case, we're looking specifically at Nikki Haley and how she's backed by the major bankers. So here's the deal. Who would profit from Mr. Naranga not being in office? And you again know that even though I took a lot of heat for him several years ago, I'm not necessarily somebody who is pushing his agenda because I got blacklisted, got audited. Lots of stuff happened to me after I stood for this cat. Now, let's go ahead and get into this because we're going to read it and we're reading it together for the first time, which is important, right? All right, so a new poll in Iowa suggests that Nikki Haley has pulled ahead of Florida Governor Ron DeSantis for a distant second place behind former President Donald Trump in the race for a Republican presidential nomination. But Haley appears to be staying disciplined when it comes to dabbling in expectations ahead of Monday's caucus. This is written earlier today, real early, January 12th, 2024 at 4 a.m. Okay? And we're right here now at 8 o'clock, real dark outside. So this story is almost 24 hours old. It goes on to say that, but Haley appears to be staying disciplined when it comes to dabbling in expectations ahead of Monday's caucus, which kicks off the GOP 2024 nomination calendar. Here's a quote. The media loves to set expectations, Haley said in an interview with Fox News in this Iowa City suburban Des Moines, Iowa. Goes on to say, and repeating her well-used line, the former South Carolina governor, who later served as ambassador to the United Nations and the Trump administration, said, quote, my expectation for myself is to come out strong in Iowa, to come out strong in New Hampshire, and to come out strong in South Carolina. She goes on to say, that the New Hampshire holds the first primary and votes second in Republican schedule 8 days after Iowa. And her home state holds the first Southern contest in late February. If you all remember, not long ago, they sort of switched things around. They switched it around from who was normally going to be first to who was going to be first, and they sort of pushed this up, and nobody ever contested it. And even if they did, it wouldn't have mattered. Because my personal opinion is that any contesting of anything is just to show the people who would agree with the contesting that they have somebody standing in their stead. It says, leaving a bit of wiggle room, Haley added, quote, We're not going to know what strong looks like until we see what the results are, close quote. But Haley, pointing to her concluding campaign event, touted, our people are excited. The momentum is real on the ground. You saw we had 300 people in that room, and I think, she says, we're going to really make a big showing. Let me tell you something. Every time I see these individuals, they have these big believe me eyes. You probably have seen it as well. But when I look at them, I see these big believe me eyes. Like if I bug my eyes wide enough, you'll believe me. Have you ever noticed that? She does it. DeSantis does it. I don't I don't remember ever seeing Trump do it when he's in the red tie. And when he's in the blue tie, there's no telling what we're going to get. But when homeboy is in that red tie, I never see the believe me eyes. But her, DeSantis, and a few others have those believe me eyes. Like, I'm telling the truth. Well, you can't stop me. I mean what I mean. And he has those eyes, or they have those eyes, and that's what she's got every time I see her now. Now, Vivek Ramaswamy was a Soros boy. Let's just talk for a minute. I'm gonna shrink this down for a minute. For those of you who don't like my commentary, I get it. You can come back in a few seconds. But for those of you who want to follow what I'm saying, which is probably right down to the nitty-gritty of what you've already thought to yourself, I'm gonna say it because I know you can't. So I'm gonna do it for you. Ramaswamy has those believe me eyes. Have you ever noticed that? Believe me. DeSantis has those believe me eyes. Anytime a man will put on high heel pump Jensens to try to convince somebody to what he's saying in a pair of high heel cowboy boots, you already know you're dealing with somebody. I see we got about 4 people who've already clicked off, but I want you to understand what I'm saying. We're going to go ahead with the rest of the commentary, but we got to set the foundation, which I believe that you all deserve. I don't believe that you guys get a lot of true commentary. Now, out here we have storms right now. Yeah, he is, Trace. Trace, I love you because you're always right there. You're always right there. You've got to be one of the pragmatic folk that follow us. Now, tonight we have a storm here in Alabama, as they have let everybody know that we're going to have terrible storms. So this is no different, right? So you're going to hear a lot of background noise. And if we lose connectivity, you already understand what it is. Okay. We have connectivity issues. But I'm going to lay it out there. Vivek Ramaswamy has the believe me eyes, even though he's a Soros boy, even though he came out later and said, please, I've dealt with Klaus Schwab and his crew, and I told them, I don't appreciate you putting my name out there. Let's just have some real talk. I don't appreciate you putting my name out there like that. You know doggone good and well, I've never had anything to do with the young global leaders. Well, let me ask you this, Mr. Ramaswamy. If you did not have anything to do with the young global leaders, then why are you hanging out with Soros and his wife in this foundation like you were? Real talk. Come on, y'all. Let's have some real talk. Share this out. Hit the like button because it's real talk tonight. We're not having no mamby-pamby conversations. We're talking about what's real. And again, I'm not anybody who is voting for anybody. I'm pointing out the obvious that you've already thought about in the recesses of your mind that you can't share with other people. There's a lot of things that you can't share with other folk. There's something made you scratch your head about tonight. We're talking about it. How is it that you are a Soros and his wife's cat? And you want us to believe that you were not a young global leader? Well, I've combed over the young global leaders. As a matter of fact, I've got a few lives that I put together that I recorded. Never put them out. I got one right now. Let me go ahead and see if I can pull it up for you guys, because there was some stuff that I was trying to figure out. I was trying to figure out how on this green earth, this cat was not a plant. And if you notice, he's in India. Is he from India or Pakistan? Where is Nikki Haley from? Where is Kamala Harris from? Where did your boy Barack go and live and have to give up his U.S. citizenship to become a citizen in order to go to elementary school from? Anybody? Anybody? Let's get into it. I want to show you right now where Vivek Ramaswamy went ahead and made sure that he knew that people had nothing to do with the WEF, i.e., Young Global Leaders. I'm going to let you hear it in his own words. But I want to ask you, do you know what it takes to become a young global leader? A lot of people don't. But here's what I want to let you know. They have to be vetted. They have to be nominated. They have to sit under their whole organization for 5 years. This is not something that people can take lightly. It's not something that people can take lightly. It's something that people need to understand, that it takes time to do what you do when you do what you do. So let me give this video to you guys, and I want you to see what you think about it. And I want you guys to tell me what you think, because to me, it seems a little plotted and planned. It does. When I watch it, and I've watched it over the past few months, because I made a video and didn't put. So what I'm going to show you guys is the portion of the video that I literally created. Because when I saw it, I thought to myself, you know what? This guy is really trying to convince everybody. He's got that believe me look in his eyes. I don't want anybody to go running out there to the polls voting for people. And while you're voting for people, you don't really get it. You don't really get what's really up. What's up is we are being infiltrated. And in as much as they are trying to push you away from Trump, and you know I don't vote anymore, so I'm not trying to tell you who to vote for if you still vote. What I'm trying to let you see is there are some realities to voting for this cat. There's some realities for voting for Homegirl, who said that she was only in the running, or she would only go back in the running or go in the running because of the fact that who meant something to her? Hillary Clinton. She said she saw Hillary Clinton. This was back in 2012. She said, I saw Hillary Clinton. And when I saw her, I thought, gee whiz, it's time for me to do what I need to do. Did you hear what I just said? She said, I knew that I could run because I was motivated by Hillary Clinton. Let's start there, because a lot of people are really comparing her and thinking that she is the one that they need to vote for. So we're going to start right there. That's where I'm going to start. Let me go ahead and pull that up. I'm going to start there, and then we're going to get and then we're going to get into Vivek, because I think it's necessary. All right, so you guys can see it there. That's the screen. I'm going to give you the whole screen as I remove myself. Okay, now let me go ahead and read this for you, because you need to see this. We need to know these things before we run out to the polls. This was dated November 29th, 2016. 2016. A message that Hillary Clinton sent throughout her campaign was that she hopes more women get involved in politics so that we can eliminate the gender gap in DC. But that message long preceded the 2016 election. Trump's UN ambassador picked South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, who, let me put a pencil there, is only picking up the speed and steam that she did because the homeboy dropped out. Same cat, same area, South Carolina. When homeboy dropped out, she was able to pick up some of his steam. With him out of the way, it opened up the way for Nikki Haley. How many of you all realize that? It goes to say that Governor Nikki Haley is proof. In a 2012 interview, Haley told the New York Times that she ran for office because of Clinton. The slate resurfaced in an interview in a recent column. Mind you, what we're reading is from 2016. Haley said women aren't in office because they simply aren't running. Quote, it's not because the challenge is too hard. It's simply because women do not run. Seeing another woman set the bar pushed her to change that. She says, quote, the reason I actually ran for office is because of Hillary Clinton. Everybody was telling me why I shouldn't run. I was too young. I had small children. I should start at the school board level. I went to Birmingham University. And Hillary Clinton was the keynote speaker, she says, in a leadership institute, on a leadership institute. And she said that when it comes to women running for office, there will be everybody that tells you why you shouldn't, but that's all the reasons why I needed to do it, she says. And I walked out of there thinking, that's it. I'm running for office. It's time for us to be real in 2024 because 2024 came in with a bang and a lot of stuff that they're hitting us all with at one time. And it's time for us to realize it hit you with a bang because it had to be planned before it hit you. I said it had to be planned before it hit you. It wasn't just going to hit you in 2024 unless it was planned. So she said, that's it. I'm running for office. Of course, that doesn't mean that Haley agrees with Clinton on everything. In 2016, the writing here states, earlier this year, she voiced negative opinion of the presidential nominee. She says, quote, President Obama was awful the last 8 years. A President Clinton would be disastrous. Do you believe that? With all of the individuals that you now see, with all of the individuals that you now see that are from that particular area of the world, you need to focus and need to do some history on that entire region. From the vice president, actually from before the vice president, because I've already mentioned to you that in order for the former president Obama to go to school there in that area where he was reared as a youngster, he had to give up his alleged American history or his American citizenship to go to school there because they do not educate children. Look this up. From another country that is not their citizen, once you give up American citizenship. And I want to ask, who's here? I see Marty. And there's a few other people that I wanted to see. I think I saw, where is he? Because he is like the master. There's William. There are several people here who are David. Okay, David is another one who keeps up with history. Trace is another one. Okay, Daryl Calhoun. You guys dig into that for me while we're live right now and let me know if you go to school over there, are you supposed to remain in the citizenship or the citizenry of the place that you say you're originating from? Because in order for you to go to school over there, you've got to give up your citizenship. So my question is, does that make you are you, can you still run for president in a country like the United States if you are not a citizen and if you've given up your citizenship? So there is something about that region that I don't think any of us are focusing on. I had a conversation with a very good friend of mine. You all know he's been on the channel a couple of times. And that is Judge Joe Brown. And he laid some information from a historical standpoint on me that blew my mind. And that's the reason why I'm asking you guys to look it up. There is something that we need to keep our eyes on. Who they were originally. That there was another group of individuals, and I'm just laying out breadcrumbs right now. You guys can figure the rest out once you start doing your history on this. But these individuals were somebody else. And there's another group of folks who took their lineage, as it were, and ran with it and made you think that they were the bad guys when it was really these cats so that they could infiltrate as easily as they did. They've infiltrated everywhere here in the United States. Everywhere here in the United States, specifically tech. Big time. Big time. While you guys go and look that up, we're going to switch reels a little. And I'm going to read a story that I had pulled up prior to dealing with the Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. I'm going to leave this on the back burner because I know that those that I've called out that know how to do really good research, they're going to be digging. Deirdre Morris is another one. Another person that digs well, and I do mean well, is Sandy Aaron. You guys go ahead and dig up on that, and I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to start to deal with this particular story. We're not going to put it on the screen because I have it in print. I had to print it. I had to print it. I had to print it because I didn't want anybody to backtrack it. Listen to this, and I want you to answer where you think this cat really is, because I've seen a couple of questions. I've seen a couple of stories as to where he really is. And I'm going to also tell you a couple of other things that I gleaned while I was trying to record this particular piece that's in my hands right now. That is none other than Lloyd Austin. The Pentagon is slammed for waiting 3 days to tell the White House that Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin was in intensive care with an undisclosed illness despite conflicts ranging in the Middle East and Ukraine. I'm turning paper so you guys hear me. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin has admitted that he made a mistake admitted to the intensive care from the White House. Speaking in a statement released on Saturday, this story comes from, let me give you the people who this is coming from. This is coming from, you know what, I know the Daily Mail can be a bit of a rag, but I'm going to tell you something. Them jokers be pulling stories quicker than anybody. And they pull them in their raw form so they can be first. Sometimes when you get those raw form stories that's first, you miss all of the polishing. And so therefore you end up releasing the story as it should be. It says, speaking in a statement released Saturday, Austin said, quote, "I also understand the media concerns about transparency, and I recognize that I could have done better in ensuring the public was appropriately informed, and I commit to doing better. But it's important that I say this was my medical procedure, and I take full responsibility for my decisions about its disclosure." On Saturday, now listen, Austin did not disclose the nature of his illness, which the Associated Press reported was caused by complications from a minor procedure at the Walter Reed Medical Center in Maryland. Administration staff believed that he was on vacation. Did you all hear that part? That he was on a vacation? They all thought that he was on an extended vacation. And that's the reason why they didn't see him the first week after New Year's. They said, we all thought that he was just on an extended vacation. That's why none of us really even questioned any of it. But on Saturday, it was reported that the Pentagon, which Austin heads, did not tell the White House about the condition for 3 days, shockingly. The Deputy Defense Kathleen Hicks was on vacation at the time, leaving the department rudderless. A Pentagon spokesperson said that Hicks was able to work remotely from Puerto Rico. Sounds like an emergency to me. Doesn't it sound like that to you? If you leave your job and you're gone and your people can't find you, and all of a sudden all they say is, well, we think he may be on vacation. Something deeper. And I'm going to let you know something deeper on BitChute because I can't say it here. It goes on to say that such secrecy at a time when the United States is juggling a myriad of national security crises, as well as the Israeli-Hamas conflict in the Ukraine war, runs counter to the normal practice, when the president and other senior U.S. officials and cabinet members would be the first to be informed. Austin, 70, remains hospitalized following the complications after a minor elective. Do you see how they throw the word elective? An elective surgery is something like dental implants. That's elective. You don't elect to have prostate surgery. If you're a man, gentlemen, anybody? Is there anybody out there that as a man would have a doctor tell them that they have prostate cancer, would then call that an elective surgery? This is not monetized. This video is not monetized at all. It hasn't had the button clicked, none of that. And I'm asking a question. Has any male that you know of or yourself ever thought of a surgery dealing with prostate cancer as an elective surgery? Or is that a necessary means if the doctor says so? I need to see you guys in the chat because on this side, from the StreamYard side, it looks like everybody's quiet. I got 43 people in chat. All I need you to do is hit the like button and let me know that, let me feel you, because I'm laying some stuff out here tonight that is a lot of opinion. And I think it's a lot of what you thought and a lot of what you think, but you can't say it. So I need to at least have you guys let me know you hear. Trace, okay. Marty, thank you. Or hit that like button and let me know what's up. Because there's a lot of things that we all think that we can't say anymore. Tonight I'm saying it. It says such secrecy at a time when the United States is juggling a myriad of national security crises, as well as the Israeli-Hamas conflict in the Ukraine and the Ukraine war, runs counter to the normal practice when the president and other senior U.S. officials and the cabinet members would be the first to be informed. Austin, 70, remains in a hospital following complications after a minor elective medical procedure, his press secretary said. His statement continues with, quote, I want to thank the amazing doctors and the nursing staff at the Walter Reed for their exceptional care and the delivery that they have delivered to me and the personal warmth that they have shown my family. I would also appreciate to speak to the outreach as well as the well wishes from my colleagues, my friends. Charlene and I are very grateful for your support. I'm very glad to be on the mend and look forward to returning to the Pentagon soon. That brother ain't returning nowhere, because there are a couple of other stories that say homeboy left this place when he was in the Mediterranean. There, I said it. Okay? The Pentagon Press Association, which represents the media members who cover the Defense Department, sent a letter of protest on Friday. They sent it on last Friday, to Ryder and Chris Meagher, the Assistant Defense Secretary for Public Affairs. Quote, the fact that he has been at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center for 4 days, and the Pentagon is only now alerting the public late on Friday evening, is an outrage, the PPA said in its letter. At a time when there are growing threats to the United States military service members in the Middle East and to the U.S., is playing a key national security roles in the wars in Israel and in the Ukraine. That's us in the Ukraine. It's us. All your stuff over there, all your money over there, taxpayers. Hit the like button and share it. We're going raw tonight. All your stuff over there. All your money over there. But you better not get $600 in your bank account right now, because it's going to be flagged like an MFer. Go ahead on and try to get yourself $600 sent from a family member to take care of that boiler downstairs or to take care of that water heater downstairs. They're going to flag it like an MFer. This is raw tonight. You better share it too. It says, at a time when there are growing threats to the United States military service members in the Middle East and the U.S. is playing key national security roles in the wars in Israel and Ukraine, it is particularly critical for the American public to be informed about the health status and the decision-making ability of its top defense leader. I thought the top defense leader was homeboy, Mask Man. Isn't he the commander-in-chief? I just showed you guys a video where they tried to say the reason why they were trying to impeach him to get him out of the screen. See, you ain't seen him. The last time they saw this man was December 20th, 2023, when he was over there on that aircraft carrier. That's the last time he's been publicly seen. Now you want me to think that, okay, well, they smuggled him, and after they smuggled him and hid him, after they smuggled him and hid him, then all of a sudden He's been in the hospital all this time. Now homeboy gone. That's my personal perspective, allegedly. Yeah. My personal perspective professionally. I've been in this for a long time, and I'm telling you right now that I was attempting to record a piece of copy for you guys when this first hit, and something kept hitting me in my head. I kept saying, why am I resistant in recording this? I don't know why I'm resistant in recording this. I don't understand it. Couldn't figure it out. And if I could show you guys the video that I put up, the audio that I created, and the and the blooper that I made while recording this when I first got the first piece of copy, I will tell you what I said. Let me see if I can find it. Because the first thing, as I said, is that MF was gone. He dead. They got him. Ooh. I hope that my channel is not going to be hit for this, but you know what? I can't run around here playing the games. Everybody wants you to play the game like you can't see. Everybody wants you to do mamby-pamby stuff and put up just nice, gentle stuff. They want you to put up nice stuff that plays and goes along with the lies that they're telling everybody in the world. I just can't do that. It makes me uncomfortable. You better go over there and find me on BitChute, on Headlines with a Voice on BitChute. You better throw me $2 or $3 or something. 50 cents, something over there. I don't mean to offend anyone, but I want to tell you that the time is out. This is the year of the apocalypse. This is the time of the unveiling and the revealing. This is the time where we are to tell the truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth, because if we don't, the truth is going to come out anyway. Did you know that? That night, out of my gut, I said that without any proof of the story that I had that followed it, that said that this cat was no longer with us. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it ties into the continuity of government that we hit in 2020. I don't know. I really don't. But I know something ain't right. It's over a balloon that they're impeaching him. If this cat wanted to impeach him last year over a balloon, don't you think he would have already been gone? He would have already been a goose cooked for Christmas. He would have already been a Christmas goose cooked. He would have. Let me look at you and tell you this right here. He would have already been a goose cooked for Christmas. He wouldn't have been waiting this long for this cat to come up here and bring this up for his impeachment. It wouldn't have been. He would have been a Christmas goose cooked a long time ago. Period. There is something shifty and something crazy going on, but we're supposed to be quiet because we're supposed to be complicit with the BS that's going on right now. I'm gonna have to end this early. There would have been no way for us to have all these news stories and all this other stuff with people saying, hey, he was hit when they hit something going on out there on right before the new year. He was already a goner. We already have those stories. We got lots of stories here. Stories from underground people that's got to go underground to prevent themselves from telling the truth. And don't you know that you get tired of not telling the truth? Eventually that stuff plays out. Eventually it's a played out game. This ain't, you better hit me with $1, 50 cents or something, y'all, because I'm not lying when I say this right here might be it. But you get tired of playing the game. This cat ain't no longer with us. That's my personal perspective. That's my personal feeling. That is the way I see it. And that's just my personal opinion. This is not gospel. This is what I think. Because while I was reading that story, I could not keep reading. Something kept stopping me. And y'all all know I'm dyslexic. So I said, this ain't my dyslexia. This is something else. I can't say these words. Then when I got to a certain point in the recording, I said, oh, that man just, let me see, can I find it for you guys? Because I tell you right now, Some ain't right. It's a lot of stuff that's wrong, but I'm not about to sit here and play the game when I already understand what time it is. I know where we are. I know that this is the year of the dragon for China. This is the year I was born. As a matter of fact, 64. This is the year of the dragon. 60 years. I'll be 60 years old in September. So with that in mind, this is the year of the unveiling because it's their year. Here it is right here. I don't know if I can play it right here, but let me see. Because I said a cuss word. I said all SH or all HELL. This dude is gone. I'm gonna put you guys on mute while I cue the video up. Let me give you guys some music right quick. Because I'm not playing the games with these people that boy, I'm sorry, I just can't do it. Let me just play y'all some, and I'm gonna look for it. All right, now you guys are going to hear this raw with errors because prior to me laying down a video for you guys, it's got a load of errors. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to play this, but I want you guys to promise me that you will listen to it and understand that even though there are some errors there, this was the original copy that I was going to write before the copy that you guys actually saw dealing with this topic. And in my gut, my prophetic gut, this is what I picked up. Now I'm gonna play it and let's see how much of it I got here. Well, errors and all. After they waited 3 days to inform the White House that Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin had been in intensive care at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center in Maryland with an undisclosed illness. The Pentagon's failure to disclose Austin's hospitalization reflects a stunning lack of transparency about his illness and how serious it was and when he may be released. Such secrecy at a time when the United States is juggling a myriad of national security crises runs counter to the normal. You got errors at all. At a time when the United States is juggling a myriad of national security crises runs counter to the normal practice when the president and other senior U.S. officials and cabinet members would be the first to be informed. Austin, 70 years old, remains in the hospital following complications after a minor elective medical procedure, his press secretary said. He was last seen in public on December 20th as he visited the Gerald R. Ford aircraft carrier in Eastern Mediterranean Sea. We got all the errors. I'm just giving it to you raw. He was seen in public on December 20th as he visited the Gerald R. Ford aircraft carrier in the Eastern Mediterranean Sea to thank crew members personally for their service. Those working at the Pentagon had no clue what was going on, believing Austin to have been on an extended Christmas vacation for the week. On Saturday night, Austin released a statement, taking some responsibility for the secrecy, saying, quote, "I want to thank the amazing doctors and nursing staff at Walter Reed for the exceptional care they've delivered to me and for the personal warmth they've shown my family. I also appreciate all the outreach and well wishes from colleagues and friends. Charlene and I are very grateful for your support," Austin began. He continues, "I'm very glad to be on the mend and I look forward to returning to the Pentagon." He continues, "I'm very glad because I can't get through it. And I look forward to returning to the Pentagon soon. I also understand the media concerns about transparency, and I recognize I could have done a better job ensuring the public was appropriately informed. I commit to doing better." There's a cuss word. This is important. It's going to be a cuss word, so if you're sensitive. "This was my medical procedure, and I take full responsibility for my decision about disclosure." The defense, close quote. The Defense Department appeared rudderless. The Defense Department appeared rudderless for much of the week as the Deputy Defense Secretary Kathleen Hooks, who took over when Austin was hospitalized, was also away. A U.S. official said Hicks had a communication set up in her Puerto Rico As I'm reading, let me give you guys a little bit of backstory. As I'm reading it raw, so I'm recording it raw. When you guys get it, obviously it's not raw, it's polished. But as I'm reading it for the first time as it's written, but stuff just starts pinging off my brain, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, that don't make sense. That don't make sense. And it starts to fire because I'm an empath. Stuff starts to fire off, and I'm starting to get ideas. And as I'm getting ideas, I'm saying, whoa, wait, what? That, what? That's what you guys are hearing. So we're going to keep on listening until you hear the last thing I say, because I'm telling you right now, something ain't right. Come on, let's go. A U.S. official said Hicks had a communication set up with her in Puerto Rico that allowed her to do the job while Austin, who spent 41 years in the military and retired as a four-star general. He's going to be dead next. This is all. Did you hear me? That's it. Did you hear what I said? That was 1/6/2024. It was 3 minutes and 25 seconds. For those of you who keep your ears to the ground, you already know. You already know that if this was 1/6/2024 and my gut wouldn't just let me flow. Normally, if it's just a standard story, my gut will let me flow. I'll just be reading the copy, whoop-de-whoop, whoop-de-wham-wham, bling-bling-bling, Lockhart perspective, boop-de-boop, we're done. But something with this one would not let me rest. And then shortly after that, I get some people sending me information. And the information that they're sending me is saying homeboy was gone. The information that I got was not from the United States. The information that I got was from abroad. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you about Bettina, the original headlines were The Voice. Baby, homegirl would have just let you have it. I'd be a little careful walking on them landmines. I'd be a little careful because I want to stay around. But she was able to meticulously put it together. She would have put that together. Me, I just can't be, I just got to be raw with it. If I can't bring it to you and hit it, so I gave you what came out later. As long as I can cite the source, I'm good. And that's what she taught me. Cite the source, read the copy, keep it pushing. But this right here, something ain't right. And this is the year of the unveiling. I'm just saying. That's all I'm going to say about that. So this is 2024, and a lot of stuff is going on. I'm going to go ahead and go off camera. But there's a lot of stuff that's going on. And even though we're looking at people like Nikki Haley trying to, let me come back on camera for this. There are people like Nikki Haley, people like Distractions down there in Florida that are trying to get the vote all split up. And here's what I'm going to say, even though you guys know I don't vote anymore, I can still see, just like y'all can still see. Let's say, for example, when I got a message from Bettina back in 2020, she said, hey, we are under continuity of government. And I said, oh my God, yeah. When did that lift? Where is homeboy? Is he in Nevada? Is he underground when he called it? When he signed and shook hands with the other cats? Y'all, we got to be real. Because I'm going to tell you something. We got movies coming out like Leave the World Behind. We got the homeboy from over there at Facebook. We ain't got but 47 views in here. That's it. And this ain't going to get us but 100 and something views because now the channel has been really, really throttled. And that's okay. And that's the reason why we got to get it out while we can. We got the cat from Facebook going underground in Hawaii. Building a bunker underground in Hawaii. Everybody going to the outskirts. While Babylon does her thing. 2024 came in like a crazy storm. Like an off-the-chain chick. Jealous. That's what's good. That's what we're talking about. 2024 is optimal. It's optimal to complete one of their pieces of their cycles. And we got to be honest and we got to admit it. Get out the city if you can't. Is that what the movie was saying? We have storms right now that they said was coming. Huh? SCDHL number 4. How you doing, precious? It's good to see you. King's kid, love you, darling. So the point that I'm making is we're dealing with some stuff that's here for those who are still going to vote, that is here to divide you. If homeboy, and we did have what we had in 2020, which we did, continuity of government in 2020, it hit then. When he signed up and shook his hands and he was just unbeknownst to him, not knowing what was going on. So who's the dude? And I'm not talking about Quincy Jones. If that's the case, who's the dude? If there's any validity in that, well, we saw him shaking hands and said, "Okay, well, ta-ta doodles, I'm going away now, FEMA." Where'd he go? Where is he now? Who's who? 2024 came in with a bang. I'm sorry to hear that, baby. Get another diagnosis. Get another opinion if you've not already gotten two. So let's get into another story here. Okay, let's just get into another story. And that is, I'm tired of, listen, I'm just going to put it out there. Like I just said, dealing with this cat, the Ramaswamy and the Haley. These two individuals represent a big chunk of something that's going on. What it is, I don't know. I know something ain't clean, something ain't right. But like I told you, I talked to my buddy and he laid out some stuff about that region that really is a trip. Judge Joe laid out some information. Here's the piece that I want to read about him because I want you all to see that part. And I'm going to give you the whole entire screen as we read this part about Ramaswamy, because he was the one that came out and said, "Hey, I don't know what was going on with them saying that I was a young global leader, but I sued them. They took it down and we're good to go." No, I submit that you were. This is my opinion, that you were. And while you were, you decided, is that Tammy with the bubble gum? I see you mentioning Tammy, Larry. But I haven't seen Tammy in a minute. And I've been looking for her. I can't see her. If she's in the chat, I can't see her. If that's the same one. If that's Tammy with the bubble gum. Excuse me. All right, so here we go. Let me go on ahead and give it to you. Okay? Because I want you guys to see this. He said that he was not a part of the young global leaders, that he had sued them and said, "Take my information off of your website. I'm not interested. I just told you that it takes them 5 years to become part of that. They have to be nominated by somebody else outside, and then they have to accept them on the inside, and then they have to go through a 5-year grooming process. So you mean to tell me that they're going to take their time and stick your name, little old you, up there and say that you're a young global leader on their website if you didn't go through the 5-year process?" I'm just checking it out. That's it. I'm just asking the question. Few names stir up a fit of pike among the anti-woke like Soros. This might be why Ramaswamy doesn't want his name appearing anywhere near Soros. But that's proven difficult because in 2011, Ramaswamy was a part of a tiny pool of graduate students who had applied for and received the Soros Fellowship for New Americans. Let me make this bigger so you guys can see it, because I don't want nobody accusing me of making this up. Okay? The fellowship, which offers up to $90,000 over 2 years to students pursuing graduate degrees in multiple disciplines at elite U.S. universities like Yale Law School, which Ramaswamy attended, is underwritten by Daisy and Paul Soros, that the later being the late brother of George Soros. It is earmarked solely for immigrants and children of immigrants to the United States. Put simply, it's to help level the playing field for children and identity groups that have historically been left behind. So embarrassing to the candidate in this significant chapter of his origin story that, according to reporting by media, now listen, I read this, at another juncture as well. Media in May, Ramaswamy paid to have information about fellowship scrubbed from his Wikipedia page. What's so bad about a fellowship that helped Ramaswamy make his way through elite higher education and quickly into a millionaire? Is a question. As stated on the fellowship site, quote, the program seeks to create a level playing field for the consideration of applicants from different backgrounds and different fields at different stages of their educational development and of different ages. Because new Americans and their families have had different immigration experiences, we take those differences into account as assessing applicants' success in meeting the selection criteria. The program looks at applicants holistically and has never had a preferred GPA or a test score range. The program is interested in the applicants who do the most with what they have, challenge themselves, and work hard to overcome the obstacles. So it seems that in addition to being highly selective, the Soros Fellowship that Ramaswamy received takes affirmative action to ensure equity for an often marginalized group. It's the exact sort of program that Ramaswamy's entire political campaign seems laser focused on ending. No one gets a Soros scholarship merely by virtue of being from an immigrant family. The prestigious fund values academic rigor and eligible applicants who must either be green card holders or naturalized citizens, deferred action for childhood arrival or DACA recipients. Grad students born elsewhere who graduated from both a U.S. high school and college, or first-generation kids of immigrant parents are highly qualified students who deserve access to opportunities. Like many elite programs and institutions, including the Soros Fellowship, Harvard also evaluates students holistically, meaning that while it always demands academic excellence at the university, states in court's paper, it does not define excellence through a narrow focus on grades and test scores. In a post-SCOTUS decision column from the New York Post, Ramaswamy wrote that mediocrity would be restored. Meritocracy, would be restored, and that GPAs and SAT scores might even make a comeback. Instead, like the Soros Fellowship, it considers a myriad of other factors that includes where they grew up, socioeconomic status, various intangible aspects of their character, and yes, race. As Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson wrote in her dissent, affirmative action helps level the playing field, the same goal explicitly expressed by the Soros Fellowship for students from historically marginalized groups. When Democratic presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. tweeted in favor of affirmative action after the Supreme Court decision, Ramaswamy hopped onto Twitter to counter him, specifically citing the number of immigrants it benefits as proof that it should be destroyed. Here's a quote. The majority of Black students at Harvard are not descendants of slaves, but descendants of immigrants, giving special preference to someone who looks like a person who once suffered is not justice. We should finally embrace colorblind meritocracy in America rather than to repeat our past mistakes. As he made his way through the Ivy League universities, Ramaswamy himself benefited from a generous fellowship intended to provide opportunity and equity to groups who have historically often faced systematic barriers to success. Here's a question it asks. Does Ramaswamy see any incongruity in his opposition to the use of preferences such as race, gender, or even legacy, ALDC, or athletes, legacies, donors, offspring, children of faculty and staff? and his acceptance of a fellowship solely given to grad students from immigrant families? In particular, does he not grasp that the fellowship also selects its fellows based on holistic review, which, while requiring standout academics, de-emphasizing grades, GPA, as the sole detriment of merit, with the shared intent to create a level playing field? Does he truly believe that race conscious admissions at elite colleges such as Harvard, which has a tiny 4% acceptance rate, are actually permitting students to coast on the bias of race? The Soros Fellowship has a 1.2% acceptance rate. Well, does he genuinely believe, as he told ABC News just after the Supreme Court decision came down, that programs that consider things such as race, gender, and one would have to assume immigration background are putting people into positions that they're actually not qualified for? Ramaswamy told NPR in May, quote, I don't believe in a backwards looking distributive justice based framework for distributing social goods or services on axis related to identity, which seems to blow up the idea of any aid that benefits any struggling group, including the Soros Fellowship. Ramaswamy claims race conscious policies teach Black kids, quote, you don't have what it takes to be able to succeed on your own. That they lead to a new form of psychological slavery that keeps you in shackles and that cause bigotry, creating a new wave of anti-Black racism. Does he believe fellowships for children from immigrant families like the one he got is to blame for and justify xenophobia? Does he secretly carry a burden of knowing he couldn't succeed without identity based help? Now, I'm going to leave this down below for you guys to finish, but these are very good questions. These are exceptional questions. What's really going on here? Who are they trying to get you to vote for? We have to be fair. You already see what Mr. Naranga, Orange Man, has to offer. I just showed you that Homegirl looks up to Hillary Clinton as far back as 2012. And Homegirl wasn't running at 2012. She was running in 2016. Well, she may have been running because she's always been a part of the party. You are welcome, J Star Or. Thank you. So the question is, what's really going on? What are they really doing? Are they attempting to build Mr. Naranga up to be a hero so that if for whatever reason he gets back in, you guys say, oh my God, yes, give me water. Give me water. I've been so thirsty for the past 4 years. I can't even believe that I've gone this long without water. Give me water. Calling him the water? Calling him the savior? Is that what's really going on? So that if for whatever reason, what happened in 2020, which we can't escape, there's a couple of things we can't escape. King BJ, hey, it's one of my sons. We cannot escape what went on in 2020 when we all heard the phrase continuity of government, which means if that's the case, where is homeboy? And if that ain't homeboy we've been seeing dance between the blue and the red tie, where is he? And who is this dude with the brown eyes? And then he got the don't it make my brown eyes blue? Then he turned around. Sorry, Crystal Gale, but don't it make my brown eyes blue? And then he turned around and he got a set of blue eyes. And then he turned around, he got another set of eyes. Then his ears are stuck to his head. Then his ears got lobes. One day he got lobes, one day he don't got lobes. One day he got a cross. Listen, I cut hair and I cut straight hair like his. Since 2008, that's what I've cut, with straight hair. That hairline ain't the same hairline. So what's good? That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Then when you let's go ahead and dig on him for a minute. Let's dig on him for a minute because I want to know what's really going on with homegirl out there in Georgia. Now, if you guys pull up to tomorrow night, the Lockhart Perspective, we're doing the Saturday Night is Live, and we're talking about all the crazy black women that they done put in positions. Was I supposed to say that? Who cares? Only get $100 for this channel every month. Compare and I combine the both channels to get $100. I'm asking a question. Why is it that homegirl in Georgia is able to get away with what she's able to get away with, even though we've covered stuff here? Her and all the black chicks that they put in positions are off the freaking chain. Every one of them are city girls from Louisiana. Yeah, every one of them. Fani Willis. I want to know what's going on with her. What is up with her? How's she going to hire her man to do her stuff? How do you hire your man? How do you hire your lover who was married, who ended up getting a divorce? Now he going to wish that he kept his other woman. He going to think to himself about that old song, it's cheaper to keep her, because now you done got homeboy in some mess. Yeah, you did. You got him in some mess. And now he wishing he had kept his wife and that he had kept his drawers up and his pants zipped. He wishing that he had never messed over his wife with you, because they're about to take his license. They got to take his license. They got to take it. This comes from the AJC. There were a couple of things that she was accused of. We're going to first look at this one because, see, I believe that Trump and them knew something. Hey, Big B. I believe that Trump and them knew something. NEM, N-E-M, like my auntie NEM. Trump knew something because this came up last year. Then I'm going to bring you what we already talked about here on the channel. It says Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis on Wednesday flatly denied that she had a relationship with a former client. And other rumors spread by former President Donald Trump. Do you see how they say it's somebody else's fault? Do you see that? This is somebody else's fault. This is not the fact that she's, I'll use a term that what's his name used to use, the guy that made up the song Hot Pants. It's not the fact that she had hot pants or caliente. How do you say it in Spanish? Pantalones caliente. Would that be correct? This is not about the fact that she had hot pants. They trying to say that Trump brought this up. Okay, so who brought this up with his wife in the divorce decree that he filed for divorce? And his wife responded saying that she was contending with one of his clients. So now all of a sudden, this back in August of 2023 was just fabricated by Donald Trump. It says in an email to her colleagues obtained by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, which Willis called the information in a television spot bankrolled by the Trump campaign. Sister, let's be real, sister girl, let's be real. They don't need nothing if you got people who are like we know we are in our community. As soon as you get to acting like you too big for your britches, you get a few of us that look like us that's going to tell everything. And they'll tell it for nothing. We all know this. Everybody who look like me that's ever been to a church that sells chicken on the weekends, we all know that there's somebody that's going to tell something. But she said that it was blamed on Donald Trump in a new campaign ad. It was rumors spread by Donald Trump. In an email to her colleagues obtained by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, Willis called the information in a television spot bankrolled by the Trump campaign derogatory and false. And she urged her staff not to respond to any of the allegations. Okay, so how about allegedly the woman who was married to your now boyfriend that went on ahead and filed for divorce from his wife, that allegedly he paid for you and him with the money he made from Fulton County, you and him to get cruises going to the Caribbean and other places. How about them people who was living there next door to that dude, next door to you when they saw that dude push up? Are they crazy too? Did they see him, or was that a figment of their imagination, or was that the Trump campaign giving them a figment of their imagination? Quote, you may not commit in any way. You may not comment in any way on the ad or any of the negativity that may be expressed against me, your colleagues in this office, in the coming days, weeks, or months. Don't say a word. This is the email that she wrote to antagonize other people who already seen her tipping with this dude. She sent it out on Wednesday. Quote, we have no personal feelings against those we investigate or prosecute, and we should not express any. A Willis spokesman declined to comment. But the people who seen that dude coming in and out your house, they didn't see him because neighbors talk. It says, in a minute-long ad titled Fraud Squad, the narrator refers to Willis as Biden's newest lackey. Okay, and it says that Willis presided over a sharp rise of violent crimes in Atlanta and highlights her office as being disqualified from investigating Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones in her long-running election interference case due to a political conflict of interest. How many of you guys know what that was about? Now, we are covering all of the Black women who've been put in place by Democrats who have been running amok in public office, who think that they are going to have a security blanket or a safety net when all the crap hits the fan. We are covering it on the Lockhart Perspective tomorrow night on Saturday Night is Live. All of these chicks think that they got a security blanket. Baby, you don't have no security blanket because, as usual, once they're done using you to be the nursemaid, the wet nurse, they're going to throw you to the side. And when they throw you to the side, they ain't going to give you no legal counsel. They ain't going to send nobody in no shiny suit to take care of you. There ain't gonna be nobody in no Stacey Adams coming in the office to represent you, no wonderful attaché case. You be lucky if you get a brother with a backpack on his back coming in as a courier on a bicycle to try to help you get up out your troubles, because that ain't gonna happen. So on the Lockhart Perspective tomorrow night, please tune in. Go on over there if you've not already. Subscribe to the Lockhart Perspective, because we're gonna uncover and deal with all of these sister girls who's running amok, getting positions like Letitia James, like homegirl that don't think her neighbors are telling. Georgia is not as big as a place as people think. Georgia is not as big as a place that people think. I was living in Georgia from 2003, to 2018. I know people. So my point is, these women, all the way from the chick that's been running amok for several years that they keep claiming that Californians are voting her in and just in droves, which is not true. I don't believe it. I believe that it's all fixed. What do you call her, auntie? Her peeling off money and giving it to her daughter with impunity, with nobody holding anybody accountable, giving money to her husband's businesses, all the way to the cuckoo bird that's out in Illinois, Dalton. We're going to talk about her, Tiffany Henyard. We're talking about her. We're talking about Letitia James. We're talking about all of these chicks that's in Massa's pocket because they still have the Democratic plantation mentality. All of them think that they got somebody to cover them, but they don't realize, sister, you're being used until the end. The end is near. They're going to replace you with Margarita, Maria, and they're going to shuffle in a couple of people who look like you from Haiti. They're going to bring a couple of people who look like you from Panama. They're going to bring a whole lot of people that look like you from India, since y'all love Kamala Camel Toe Harris and y'all believe that she you. Y'all all run around. I'm voting for my Soros, and that chick didn't even know what ski we meant. It says, but the most incendiary allegation is that Willis, quote, got caught hiding a relationship with a gang member she was prosecuting. Yeah. All of that in Rolling Stone. We're going to have that over there tomorrow night. We're dealing with all of that. We're dealing with all of it. Because the fact is, if we sit back quiet, there are going to be a whole lot of people who blindly go out there and start checking off boxes for folks, thinking they're doing the right thing because they look like you. And I'm tired of it. Tired of it. Can't deal with it no more. Don't want to deal with it no more. Disgusted. Fani Willis, as well as the other chick out there, they say that she was a defense lawyer for YSL's co-founder, for a YSL co-founder. It was music and rap and all these other things. And she was running a real good relationship with one of them cats out there that had big money, allegedly. Here's my point. They always seem to find chicks who will sell out their mama and them to run these little small stories. See, vote for her. We just need her to go on vacation long enough for us to put somebody in her desk to run her desk the way we want her to run her desk, and put in these different laws and put these different people behind bars and to shovel this around here and do. We just need the space. So as long as we can pay her enough money and make her think that we got her back, she's going to do what we want her to do for the next 4 years. We're going to put her in place. She's going to do what we want her to do. She can go on all of her vacations. She can spend all of her money. She can spend the money with impunity that belongs to the community, not knowing that we're only going to turn our backs on her once we're done with her. That's what's going on right now. Did you see the chick? We're going to talk about her tomorrow night too. The chick out there saying, okay, well, yeah, I did COVID money, but I gave him the 10 grand back. But she was dealing with the community like a cuckoo bird. These people are psychotic once they get in. When you get people talking about I'm the super mayor, when you get people running around like Tiffany Henyard in Dalton, telling people, acting like she's Nino Brown. Nino Brown, look it up. She went out and get all kinds of people to fix her hair and fix her makeup and all this stuff. They're using these people. They're using them. And these idiots are running with it. Let's go ahead and get into this right here. We're going to look at the, which we've already covered it. Excuse me. We've already talked about it ad nauseum. We've already put out the message. But I'm going to go ahead and read it here. It says, court documents reveal the DA's affair with a special prosecutor. This man divorced his wife. It's not complete yet. Her divorce is, though. I guess her husband has some sense. And he said, I'm not dealing with you. Most men can't take it. Women, we can sit up there, some of us, and take it for like, maybe the first time. Oh, we forgive you, baby. We're sorry. Okay, I'm sorry that you went out and cheated on me. I'll lose a few pounds. I'm sorry. I'll make the pot roast the way your mom does from now on. I'm sorry. You don't have to leave me. I apologize. Please don't leave. But the brothers, a brother find out that the sister's cheating. He may keep it under wraps if you want to give her one more go. So he's not going to tell his best friend and his mom and them. He keep it under wraps if you want to give it another go. But her husband divorced her. This is the story that we've already covered. On Monday, a defendant in the 2024 GOP frontrunner Donald Trump's Georgia election fraud case filed a motion calling for the disqualification of Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis. Now, do you guys in the chat, please put a 1 in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button. If you've not subscribed, please do so and share this out. Let me ask y'all a question. Do you remember when we talked about the blatant. There was a bunch of stuff where people was fraudulently voted in, where they had all these people that was on the voting rolls all over the United States, and they traced it all the way back to Fani. Marty, do you remember that? We talked about it a few months ago. So it says here that they filed a motion calling for the disqualification of the Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis, alleging that she had been in a romantic relationship with Nathan Wade, and she was one of the prosecutors that she hired, which she did not have the right to hire. According to Fulton County's regulations, she was not allowed to hire him. She did it against their regulations. And then I got a video of her sitting over talking about how walking ethically is important. You got to be ethical. If something is against the law, then we simply deal with it based on the merit that it's against the law. Michael Roman argued that Willis's conduct warranted the disqualification of the entire DA's office from future prosecution of the case and a dismissal of the charges against him. His lawyer, Ashley Merchant, cited documents from Wade's divorce case as evidence. As the Wall Street Journal reports, Willis was served a subpoena on Monday ordering her to testify in Wade's divorce proceedings, adding further credence to Roman's claims. Merchant claimed in the filing that Willis and Wade are, quote, operating under the conflict of interest and should be disqualified under federal and state constitutional due process grounds because both of them have acquired a personal interest and stake in Roman's conviction. We don't went on all of them trips. This is the narrators know. Baby, you know we don't went on all of them trips together. And since we don't went on all of them trips together, you know we got to keep it together. Because if we don't keep it together, they ain't going to let us get that money. We got to get that money. And even if that's not what they plan to do, because it's a conflict of interest, that's what it looks like. Merchant claimed in the filing that Willis and Wade are, quote, operating under a conflict of interest and should be disqualified under federal and state constitutional due process grounds because both of them have acquired a personal interest and stake in Mr. Roman's conviction. She argued that Willis and Wade have been engaged in an improper clandestine personal relationship during the pendency of this case, which has resulted in the special prosecutor and in turn the district attorney profiting significantly from this prosecution at the expense of the taxpayers. Now, you'll find this is going to be a running theme when you tune in over there on the Lockhart Perspective tomorrow night, that everybody is doing everything at the taxpayer's expense. You know why? Because they see those that's above them, that's reached out to them to tell them, we got your back, when they really don't. They've seen them do things with impunity at the taxpayers on a federal level's expense. And they think that they're going to be able to get away with it too. But what they don't realize is they're going to drop you like a bad habit. Wade was paid close to $650,000 for his services since January of 2022. This was compensation that DA Willis authorized. So look here, baby, I tell you what. You know I got that good, don't you? Yeah, I know, baby. Well, I'm going to give you that good, and I'm going to pay you your money. And when I'm giving you the good, all I want to do is I just want to go on a couple of Royal Caribbean cruises. Can we do that? Sure, baby. My wife don't care. Matter of fact, you know I'm getting rid of her anyway. You is? Yeah, baby. You know you're my main one. I am? Yeah. We can go anywhere you want to. Just make sure that you make the check payable to my law firm. And I'll make sure that we get out there and go. That part. Wade then allegedly purchased trips for him and Willis to California's Napa Valley. They also went to Florida. They went to the Caribbean via the account into which the checks from Willis's office were being deposited. See, that's the problem, Dodo. You don't know how the game is really run. A spokesperson for Willis said her office will respond to the allegations through the appropriate court filings, as we said in the recording that we uploaded here. Now, we already know that Roman is one of the 19 people that was indicted by Willis, which she had no authority to do. Let's just put it down here. Let's just put it way down. She didn't have no right to do any of the stuff that she did. because this had nothing to do with any person who worked. First off, regardless to what anybody thinks about Trump, there are laws that are already written and put in place that preceded him even being in the White House. And I'm not speaking up for nobody, but doggone it, y'all not gonna get on me because I know the difference between right and wrong. I'm gonna say what's right and what's wrong. This woman had no right to do what she did. She took all the money from the people of Georgia in the area in Fulton County that she was responsible for and turned it to a former president and turned it into a RICO case. Had nothing to do with any of the stuff. Man, that dude must got some good. I tell you what, he must got something good, because she was high on something. What it was, I don't know. But this right here is not going to end good for her. And I'm going to end it here because we do have a lot of other stuff that we're going to talk about. But my point tonight is, baby, didn't 2024 come in with such a bang? Didn't it come in with such a poof pow? Yeah. And I'm going to tell you something, like I've been saying, and I'm going to keep saying, they're going to keep using all of these folks that have caramel colored skin to exact their revenge against the American people, because this ain't us, that's after us. If you haven't already watched that movie, Leave the World Behind, I strongly suggest that you cuddle up with a neighbor, kinfolk, or somebody if you don't have Netflix, and you need to watch it, because the truth about the matter is it's divisiveness after divisiveness that they are going to use, and it's going to start from the heads of Black folks. Oh yeah, we got that, King's kid. We dealing with that. Did you see how much money she just got just recently because she went ahead and threw her money in there for NVIDIA? Mm-hmm. Well, you know what, Bill Hanna, the reason why he did that is because he was still being manipulated. I guess he thought that he was going to get a second term and he was going to be able to clean the swamp at that point. He was not going to be able to clean no swamp because he went in there doing stuff the wrong way. And to be candid with you, he should have done it. I'm not no Hillary Clinton fan, but I'm gonna tell you something, baby. When Hillary Clinton went in there with her husband, she cleaned that whole White House from the top to the bottom. I don't know if she used borax or Clorox, but homegirl cleaned the very clock that ticked that White House. I mean, everything from the travel department, and you know about the issues that they had there. What a mistake. Somebody said it was an accident. But she cleaned because that's what she meant to do. But this situation, Steve Willis, hey, that's the executive producer of Headlines with a Voice, as well as the Lockhart Perspective. Without him, we would not be on the air right now. And I want to say, hey, to Steve Willis, I love you, brother. I love you. Thank you for being here. That is the executive producer of Headlines with a Voice and the Lockhart Perspective. Without him, you guys wouldn't be hearing my voice right now. So I appreciate you for being here, sir. My point is, we got a lot of stuff that's real, and we're going to keep talking about it until they say adios. And I hope everybody has already gone over. If you haven't already and you don't have a TikTok page, go ahead, because we can go live over there. Join on TikTok if you don't do anything but open up the TikTok page to join the Lockhart Perspective. Felicia Lockhart over there on TikTok. Join it. Getting a little tired. We already got a Rumble page. We put one video up over there. Join it. If you haven't already gone over there and you've not joined BitChute, go to Headlines with a Voice. Join it. Join it. Headlines with a Voice. BitChute. The Lockhart Perspective, please do so we can go live. I don't have enough people to go live yet. That's on TikTok. TikTok. Okay, Mars Gold, baby, what's going on? Okay. You got Twitter. That's Felicia Lockhart, the Lockhart Perspective. Instagram, the Lockhart Perspective. Felicia Lockhart on Instagram. Follow. Please follow. I love each and every one of you guys. We're gonna get out of here right now, but we're touching on. I told you guys what I thought about Lloyd Austin. May as well say RIP because I don't believe it. Told you what I thought about Nikki Haley. Stay away from that because she's being bankrolled right now by Wall Street. What did I say about Vivek Ramaswamy? You already know what I believe about that. This is my opinion. Vivek Ramaswamy. Soros boy, which means, hey, he said that he wasn't a part of anything going on with Klaus Schwab, but I don't know why he wouldn't be if all of these folks sort of hang out together. Mr. Naranga hanging out there after he did what he did with the continuity government, shaking the hand of FEMA, saying, okay, well, you guys take care. Why isn't he under a bunker? Why isn't he? Why wouldn't he be? Isn't that what it's all about? Isn't that where they go? Mr. Biden himself and his son going in there making a big mess the other day. His son goes in and he makes a big mess right there with Congress, sitting in there just showing up for what? You said you wasn't coming in to do no deposition. Every deposition I've ever seen has always been under closed door. They have it in private. And after they have it in private, they deal with those things in the court. If there's any reason to go to court, they go to court. What was he doing sitting in there with them? And I don't buy the whole Marjorie Taylor Greene being the reason he got up. No, I believe the last cat that spoke was the last thing he wanted to hear, and then he rolled out. Because what he's trying to do is to get himself famous points for the documentary that he's doing. Did you all know he's doing a documentary dealing with his drug addiction that he still got? I've never seen somebody who said that there was a drug addicted person turn around and say, well, I ain't on drugs no more. I ain't seen no proof of that. He might not be. But I've never seen somebody say, okay, now I'm going to write a documentary about it. And I wonder if his father's portion that we all got, somebody done snipped and got video of him saying, I told him if you don't remove the prosecutor by the end of the afternoon, you're not going to get any money. What do we do with that? Do we just forget about it? So now instead of us impeaching the impeachable that have blatant public issues where we know we can impeach them, we're going to go ahead and pick on a man who's no longer with us, the one and only Lloyd Austin III. I'm just saying. I'm just asking. I'm asking for a friend. Okay? So you guys, whenever you search for me, you're either going to look on my original page, which is the Lockhart Perspective on any of the other platforms that we've mentioned. You may see one video because we had to lay a placeholder there so we can add all the other stuff there. And I know that's how Rumble is for Headlines with a Voice. Headlines with a Voice only has one video up there right now. I need some place that I can go live, and I have to have a set amount of people on TikTok. I have to have 1,000. Rumble, I think I have to have at least 5. So when you go to Rumble, you're only going to see the Lockhart Perspective because over there I got 5. On Headlines with a Voice, I don't have 5. Full transparency. BitChute, we got a lot of people, but I get called all kinds of names. They call me everything from monkey to all kinds of stuff over there on BitChute. So we got over 11,000 subs over there that were there beforehand, and that we have actually we've added about 1,000. So thank you to those of you who've already joined over there, because on our own merit over the last 2 years, we've added about 1,400 people, I want to say, to the BitChute community. Thank you for that. So I am on Instagram. I am on TikTok. I am on Facebook, much to my chagrin. Brighteon, which that's another much to my chagrin. So you can look for each of them interchangeably. And if you're not a member and if you've not joined, please do. If you did not already subscribe to Headlines with a Voice, please subscribe here. And if you've not subscribed to the Lockhart Perspective, which is my baby, please do. But tomorrow night, we are going to have a panel. If they can all show up. If not, it's going to be me. And we're going to be talking about all of these Black women that they got running amok throughout the United States right now as mayors, city council people, and all such like, where they're all doing some crazy stuff, thinking that they have covering, and they don't. So we're going to cover all of that tomorrow night because I got to talk about this. I got to. Everything from when Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot was in office, how she used to talk, thinking that she didn't care because somebody had pumped her up to believe she was good to go. But baby, when them Black folk got together and said, no, you don't. And then they just went ahead recently and found her basically, quote unquote, not guilty of some of the charges that they had put up against her with some, wrongdoing that they had accused her of. Now she's able to go on and, be with herself and with her adopted daughter to do whatever it is that she wants to do. But I want to lay it out there as to why we have so many women running around here taking money from COVID relief funds, which is one of the women we're covering tomorrow. The Black girl who worked over there at Facebook, who thought as an executive, dealing with, of all things, by inclusivity, diversity and inclusivity, done took $4 million from them folks. We got another woman who was working for the TSA, has taken and done some messed up mishmash with her mama's property and stuck her mama in a home with her and her daddy, done took the top property from the brother. Oh, we covering it all tomorrow night. We going in. So I love each and every one of you guys, all of you that I did not get a chance to say hello to individually. I love you all. Counted to my head and not my heart, because I love all of y'all. Mars Gold, Big Bay, Daryl Calhoun, Ben Palmer, all of y'all, Don S., all of you guys. I love each and every one of you all. And I love you, Marty. Never be. Okay, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be off in the club. never be. I'm just picking with you. I love each and every one of you guys. Thank you for allowing me to be me. Thank you again to Steve Willis for hanging out with us tonight. I want to tell you guys, remember what I always say on any Felicia Lockhart Group LLC publications, and that is, that man shall not live by bread alone, baby, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Most High. I want you guys to remember to take care of yourselves, because trust and believe ain't nobody gonna take care of you but you. And when you're done, you can turn around and take care of everybody else that you know that's around you, that you need to touch. You can take care of them. But one thing I want you to do before we see each other again, make sure you take care of my friend. And my friend is you. I love you guys. Peace. To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Helping you along the way. Helping you to make it through another day.